So the odds are the thing that you are making is not going to work, and it's going to feel extremely frustrating at any given moment. And it doesn't matter what domain that you're actually in, it's hard to get something to actually work. And I want you to start taking an abstract um, perspective here and look about all the different domains, whether it's playing the piano, whether it is making a new tool, whether it is, um, creating a piece of software, whatever, right? Like, whether it's going to school, the odds are it's not going to work out, right? And it's not going to have very good outcomes. So, I was just thinking about that. How do you get around that particular fact? What does that mean, right? So, the the belief that you can sort of will yourself into anything, I think it's a bit of a false nomer because I think that there is actual structural barriers often that you face that are because of society, right? And that's hard to sort of get around. And so the question is, and then on the other side is if you don't try, it'll never happen, right? So the question is, how do you get around that? I think the question is to, I think the answer is to really figure out the aspects of it that make you feel better, that there are things that you can sort of detach from and not really go there, but then there's other things that make you feel better. There's this like paper that I had to read in my organizational theory class. It wasn't really organizational theory a long time ago. It was more like organizational behavior, like psychology. And because that's who the instructor was more of a psychologist. It was called Banana Time. And it was about how people on an assembly line make it fun. And, on one side, the assembly line is super boring and nobody actually likes working on an assembly line. But then on the other time, they made it really fun by every I don't know 20 minutes it would like somebody would shout out banana time and then they would all like do something goofy from it. I can't remember the exact thing, but they made it fun and interesting and something that they love to do, that they can get up for 30 years and actually do this thing. My dad was an operator in a pulp and paper mill for 43, it's either, I think it was 43 years. It was either 43 or 46. A very long time, right? And how do you actually do that, right? Part of it was him just tuning it out, but also part of it was enjoying the social nature, was enjoying actually being there and doing this thing. So for me, in my own experience with the whole reciprocity project, with actually it was more research, right? So this is a direct spin-off of research, and it was me sort of thinking the platform itself is is me thinking that I'm not good enough, and so I need a technical solution. I'm an engineer, so I could build that technical solution. Actually, it was my dad. He used to like build things in the shop that were kind of just jerry rigged machines that would do different things. He didn't go to school for it, but he was very mechanical. And so you just build stuff, right, that were made out of wood or whatever. He was more of a woodworker than anything, but he built all sorts of interesting things. Um, so so that was me with the technical solution, right? But I was still sad with it, and I still am very sad with research process. Like, I mean, not like sad as in like this is dilapidated, but sad as in really deeply sad, right? Like it's a very depressing, deep, not very fun thing to do. If anybody's ever sat down and spent great deals of time just thinking about something, there are moments where it's really nice and I really like it, but it's deeply, deeply lonely, right? Like super, super lonely. So me, what I've learned actually is um, that that this reciprocity project kind of fills a gap for me, um, where I'm talking to somebody or something or whoever I don't even know, but it helps soothe a little bit. Sometimes it gets like really deep, and some days it kind of makes me worse off by sort of talking about this, but it also is a bit therapeutic where I can openly talk about these things. Maybe it's crazy that I am openly talking about these things, but it is a very, very sad career. Um, and you need to like figure out outlets and how to actually deal with this and get just do your life so you can get up and you can do this. And part of this has been really fun to express myself, um, and talk about things. So not only is it a very sad career, but you don't use your mouth the whole day. I remember like many, many days, right, where I would have a hard time talking at the end of the day because I would never use my mouth. So my point is that you got to find ways to just sort of do okay, right? Like find the thing that even though it's silly, and even though that you feel like, oh man, you just feel like so stupid, right? Doing all this kind of stuff, um, and you don't really have a shot at anything. Well, if you find that kind of sweet spot that you try to make it fun and you try to make it enjoyable, um, you can get up and keep doing it, right? And you really are not as upset with yourself when you have bad days. Um, and so I think like expressing this in various different ways, and figuring out. So yes, there are things that are deeply sort of not great in everybody's career, and everything is, that like most things are very challenging. So then figure out those things that are really challenging and address them. Like find that way where you can get up and keep working at something despite all of those negative feelings that you're actually having. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye.